Well, hello, everybody. This is Jim Fulford. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and we're going to do a quick overview of you guys tonight. So glad you could join us on the line. And sounds like I've got some of my critters in the background. I'm at home on my log home. That sounds like we may hear a little bit of dog noises because I've got 3 dogs here. They're a little wiry, but anyway, hopefully you could have that because we do have fun. It'll be a fun call. It'll be a short call. We'll be done a little bit before 8:30 Eastern time, so pop in through. But anyway, we're going to go through the business model in a moment. But I'd like to start the calls off really by describing a little bit about who we are and what this business is really all about. Because even though we're in the business of health and wealth, with Shaklee, and we do that, really what we create is our goal is to help people really change their lives and change their lives in a positive direction. Of course, that can be through lifestyle, it can be through health, it can be through things. But a lot of it is just about the community and the people that you're around. And we want you to think through, presentation, where are you at right now on that? Because as you can kind of get an idea of that, it's really going to help you understand what's going to drive you to create the business, because we do understand that busy people are the people that make things happen. Right now, as technology has changed, if you look at our culture over the last 20, 30 years, really the technology hasn't done anything to really help people, relax and improve their lives. I mean, we've gone from one person working to both people working. Our debt's increased, and nowadays, I'm in business, and if one of my customers sends me an email at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, you know what? They're expecting to get a reply back. So it's a 24-hour world. But we do understand that the one ultimate thing that we all got in common is we've got the same 24 hours in a day, and all of us have some control over how we prioritize that. And we know that the people that are doing 27 things already, that those 27 things got them to the point in their life where they're at now, whether they're in debt, overweight, whether at a job that they hate, all those things. And we know that they can actually, carve out a few hours over a week's time, prioritize things, and they are the type of people that can totally drive this business and make some amazing things happen. Now, absolutely, we are a culture and a group of people that really believe in values. We're very value-driven. Family is very important to us. This picture on the top right is my family. It was right when we adopted my son from Russia, and that was all of our friends for his adoption day. I've got you've got many people here, but we understand that a lot of people, we love having moms be able to stay at home with their kids. That's important to us. We enjoy people having quality time with their family. We enjoy the ability that Shaklee gives us family vacations together, because we know that if we can make things where you can spend more time with your family or quality time, that's important. And it's also something that you may end up having to sacrifice at times, because you're not going to ever accomplish anything in life without some sacrifice. We also believe in a legacy. This is the Glackens and their kids. We spent some time with Jennifer and Dan. Jennifer actually this weekend, Bear and Rhonda Joy and their family, and this is for me and Peggy and our things. And really, this is one of the great things about the business. For example, the lady I sat with at dinner on Sunday, I'd ask her how long she'd been in the business. She'd been in the business for 40 years. But actually, she had gotten the business from her mom. When she was 15 years old, she joined the Shaklee business under her mom, and her mom had started many years ago. And, she's a master coordinator now, have a huge business that was started by her mom, and that's the exact same story I want Jacob to be telling people when he sits down. When did you start? He says, well, I'm in this business, but my mom and dad started this business back in 2013, because that's when we've been in Shaklee for a year. And we're really building it for that legacy, so we have an income to pass on to our kids, so that we leave the world in a better place and leave him in a better position and not a worse position, because the legacy, unfortunately, that many people leave their kids nowadays is debt, and that's not much of a legacy. We're really building the opposite side of that. We also do believe in wiping out car payments. This is Peggy and me in front of her new Shaklee car. This is a 2014 Passat. And one of the great things about Shaklee is that they make it very easy for you to get a car payment. When you get to your $5,000 in car volume in your business, you're going to start qualifying for the car, and it's not a stretch for people to do that at all. We've got 3 or 4 people just on my community now that have car payments being made, and Shaklee actually gives you more if you get a green car, something that's a hybrid car. I didn't want a hybrid, but I asked Shaklee, I said, if I get a clean diesel, will you give me the bigger payment? They said absolutely. And so when Peggy got this new Passat that gets about 50 miles a gallon, and she says, man, with the Shaklee making the payments, that's just a whole different kind of green. So she was pretty excited about that. Also, we believe in sandy beaches and exotic places. And the reason I say that is that part of the business model for Shaklee, and you'll see it right in the compensation plan we go through, is they have 2 trips every year to awesome places that you can qualify for in your business. We've got many of us are going to the Paradisus Resort in Playa del Carmen. That's going to be a trip December the 4th to 8th this year. In fact, Peggy and I qualified for that even before we went on the Dream trip last year on the cruise. And so we'll be actually double qualifying for that this year. We've got many people in our community doing that. So it's going to be where you go to the resort, and imagine an all-inclusive resort, everything paid for, and it's all filled up with people from Shaklee. So imagine the parties and the fun we're going to have. And, of course, they also have a Top Achievers trip, which is it's more difficult to earn than the first trip, and it's to Bali. Last year it was to Paris, so they've been to Bora Bora, and they're amazing places. And this is a trip in September 8th to 13th, and we're really running hard to do that this year. And we're hoping that some of you on the phone will be earning these trips for next year because these are really fun. Shaklee takes care of all the expenses and stuff. So really, you need to think about what's important to you. Some people come into this business to make money. Some people come just because they want to get healthy, and they're into health products. Some people, want to do it for the tax breaks. Some people, like the travel, different things they're bringing. And it really, what's important is that with Shaklee, you can have it all. You can have the travel, you can have the fun, you can have the income, the passive income, you can have the contribution thing. You can see here the planting a tree. Shaklee planted every time. I forget to mention this, but every time someone buys a starter pack with Shaklee, a tree's planted. They planted over 1 million trees, and so it's amazing the things they do. And really, the dream plan is the business model I'm going to be going over with you. And once you see that, you'll understand how it works and how it can power. Now, it's a good understanding of history of Shaklee because it's not a new fly-by-night company. It's a company that's been around for 57 years. They were founded in 56. But even if you look at the roots, Dr. Shaklee, you see pictured here on the screen, he invented the first Shaklee Vitalized Minerals, which was the first name of the vitamins back in 1915. So we're about to hit the 100th year of the invention of the vitamin, and think about how many people he's impacted over the years because that vitamins have been invented. That's really what we call the Shaklee effect, and that's the effect that we can have on other people because they will use our laundry soap. They will use a product. They will tell their friends about it. So again, they were a green company. They introduced green home care back in 1960, and just had tremendous growth through the 70s. They went from 20 million to 200 million in sales. They became a public company on the stock exchange in the 70s. In 1982, they broke into the Fortune 500. And then in 1985, at the age of 91, Dr. Shaklee died. His sons were their majority shareholders, and the company ended up being purchased by a Japanese pharmaceutical company in 1989. And that was an interesting time for the company because they were a pharmaceutical drug company, and they wanted pharmaceutical vitamins, and Shaklee had pharmaceutical-grade nutritional products, and so they thought it was a really good business for them to invest in. And so for many years, from 1989 to 2004, they owned the company. They didn't do anything to invest in the growth of the company as far as working with the distributors and building leadership, but they did do a lot. They put in a new pharmaceutical labs in California to do product testing, so they did invest a lot in the product quality. But the role change, and the reason this really became an opportunity is in 2004, the company was bought by Roger Barnett. Now, Roger's an impressive guy. He's got a Yale, and he's a graduate from Yale Law. He's got an MBA from Harvard. He's already he founded of multiple companies that have become billion-dollar companies. He was the founder of Arcade, which is a company that makes the spelly little strips in the magazines, Beauty.com. But he really wanted to figure out what was going to be his legacy, what was going to be the company that he wanted to pass on to his kids, what was the difference he wanted to make in the world. And he actually spent $20 million just researching industries and companies, and he looked at 75 different companies, and he chose Shaklee. He said that was a crown jewel. They were the ones that had the products, they had the brand, they had an unbelievable quality reputation. They had been in this industry that's had some lot of questionable players in it over the years with a stellar reputation. If you Google Shaklee, you're not going to find anything bad about them. And so the only problem was John Minucci didn't want to sell it to him. And so he had to bug him for 3 years before he could convince him to buy it. So in 2004, he bought Shaklee for $310 million, and his goal is really to make it from a $700 million in sales to a $10 billion giant by moving into many different countries and growing the brand. And he's really got an impressive record already. It's now been 10 years he's been the CEO. And if you look on the sales chart here, this is actually showing you that he over that 10 years he's done a lot of building things. He's added the number one, number two product, Vitalizer Vivix, was added during that time frame. They've done the landmark studies. Many things they did, but one thing they did is they spent several years, they spent 5 years out there looking at compensation plans in the industry to try to figure out what they could do that would really help them attract young people. What he wanted to do for Shaklee was the same thing his family did for Burberry. His dad was the president of Burberry, and Burberry, if you remember, years ago it just made raincoats, and now it's one of the top 5 fashion brands. And so they did a big changes in that to make it cool and relevant, and he knew he needed to do the same thing for Shaklee, make it cool and relevant. And so he wanted to come up with a pay plan that would let so young people could come in and really make money right away. And so this was the dream plan, and it was introduced in 2010, which is back when this sales chart is making the big arc up, because when the plan was introduced, that's what put Shaklee on a massive growth scale. And it's so it's a 50-year-old company, but it's doubled in size in the last 3 years with just remarkable growth happening. And the products, I could spend all day talking about this. Linda on the phone, she knows even more about this than I do. But so I'm going to just talk about what's kind of differentiates us from most of the other type of companies. They've got a very diverse product line, 340-something products. They've got nutritional products, anti-aging products, skin care, green home care, baby products, energy products, pretty much all their water purification products. They're all consumable type products, all in the important segments. But what's different about them is they spend over $300 million in testing, clinical testing research. They perform over 100,000 quality tests. We saw this year we met with Bruce Daggio this weekend, and he let us know that the vendors, that every product that comes in, every source material, they run quality tests on it. Even though they trust the vendors, they verify them. They also have a lot of scientific backing on their products. So, for example, they've got they don't just say, hey, this product's great because it's got this ingredient in it. They actually do studies, medical studies on their particular product, their vitamins, their anti-aging products, their skin care, and they've got published things in scientific journals. Most products have patents, and you've got a lot of credibility here. You've got 100 gold, silver, and bronze medalists. We had a guest speaker this weekend that was a speed skater that won a silver medal, and so we got to meet with him and spend some time with him over the weekend. But imagine over 100 of them own Shaklee products, and that's all they will use. They're the only products that Olympic athletes will take. Oprah has been one of her favorite products, been on her show several times, been on Rachel Ray. The White House uses products, and we heard there was 2 generations of the last generations of things. So it's been the Republicans and the Democrats both use the Shaklee products, so no partisanship there. And there's no artificial flavors. But the main thing is the products are safe, they work, and they're green. And they've got an unbelievable guarantee. It's a 100% money-back guarantee on the products. Now, as I mentioned about the studies, this is an interesting study called the Landmark Study. It was done back in 2005. It was Shaklee's 50th-year anniversary, and they commissioned Berkeley to do a study. And they took a look at people that had been taking the Shaklee vitamins over a 20-year period, and people with a group that had been taking a one a day or a single vitamin, and people that took no vitamins at all. They measured, they took their blood, they did interviews, and they went through an exhaustive test at gathering the data over many months and did an analysis. And they found out across the board, even though the age of the Shaklee group was older, they had way fewer instances of heart disease, less heart attacks, less heart failure, much reduced. Look at it, from 2.9% had type 2 diabetes, and the Shaklee 11% by vitamin, less stroke. And one of the most important things was when they asked, do you feel healthy, 84% of the Shaklee users did, as a result of 55 versus 49 and no. So this is a documented study on people that took a multitude of Shaklee products for 20 years, and their health was remarkably better. And in fact, what they did is they took the results of that study, and they took the products that those people were taking, and they created a Vitalizer multivitamin as a result of the study. And so when you give someone a Vitalizer, you know they've got a 20-year landmark study backing it up, letting you know that it's the very best thing that you can take. Now, what makes us we're one of the fastest growing teams in Shaklee, and one of the reasons we do that is because of our leaders. So, my direct upline leader is Barry and Rhonda Joy. Tony and Debbie Underwood are as their leader, and Jennifer Glacken. We spent time with Jennifer Glacken this weekend, which was great. Tony was actually in China this week doing some Shaklee business. But it's great to have a leadership team that's all fully involved in Shaklee, reaching new levels, and they're there to help. Just like I'm here to do this webinar for Linda tonight, because she asked me to. Tony and Debbie would do meetings, Barry and Rhonda. Jennifer will as well. All these people are at your beck and call to help you build your business, and we encourage you to use them. And one thing I like about Jennifer, she shares 1099s, and she has a bunch of 1099s that she shared this weekend. So, for example, her 2012 was 264, but she shared her 2013 with us this weekend. I think it was 326,000. I'll have to update my slide when I look through my notes. But the point is that she wanted to let you know that this isn't people making money off conventions and tapes and tools and training. This is money just off moving the Shaklee business, Shaklee products. And there's a lot of people that are making money. The cashes, they actually made $249,000 in 2013. It was their number. They're a family that's the typical family that should not be able to do this business. They've got 6 kids. 3 of them have autism. One of them's got Asperger's syndrome. All of them got issues. And Becky started the business as a customer in '92. Chris actually left his job at Motorola to come home and help her build the business, and they do it full time. And now they've built it up to $250,000 a year income. And it's funny, when you get on the webinar, just like I was talking about my dogs making noise, you always hear screaming kids in the background when they're talking, because they just build the business, but they also build their family, and they're awesome people. Tanya Mann is another person that's making good money. And, of course, some people are making some insane money. This is George and Dee Dee Shaw, our Shaklee's top earners. That $200,000 check was not for a year. That was a month. So I don't know if you could figure out how to spend $200,000 a month, but I probably could. and that's the type of thing that you can do. Imagine where your business can be when you've been in business with a company for 40 years. So the thing that powers that is the dream plan. And the way the dream plan was pretty much designed so that you can make $100,000 in 15 months, drive a new car, and take 2 trips a year. And it was introduced in October 2010. It was really designed to attract the young professionals into Shaklee because they knew he needed to help them make money quickly to building the business. And I want to kind of take you through the steps to success in doing this. And really, the way to do is you get started in the business by selecting a business pack. And it's $299 or $599. Now, I kind of like what Roger Barnett was saying when someone was talking about the $600 kit. He said, well, think about it. Really, only $49 is what you're paying to start a Shaklee business. The rest of these things are just products that you're purchasing and you're getting that have the 100% money-back guarantee, things that you're going to be using. So you're spending this money already. You're already buying these cleaners. You're already buying laundry detergent. You're buying these things. You're buying Windex. All these things you're already spending. So you're going to spend this $500 anyway. Why don't you take it and spend it and start a Shaklee business? Because as you do that, you're going to get over $850 in products. It's got a 500-point value, it's that PV. And that's how the reason I mention that is because that's the PV point value is what we get paid on as we refer people to come into our business. And that becomes important because, for example, when you start the fast track plan, your first big goal is to hit director. Director is the building block of this business. It's at 2,000 points, and, of course, the fastest way to do that is to get 4 people that do a 500-point kit. Now, you can have one person that does 2,000, or you can have 20 customers that do 100. It doesn't matter. Anything, basically, all the activity that you create for you and the people on your team. So it can be multiple levels depth. You add them all up, and when it was 2,000 or above, you become a director. The average director earns about $10,000 a year. But what's nice about it is as you create this process, you've got $880. So you invested your $599, you get $900 back. So you're going to get more than your money back, which is really a really good first goal. So if you're in the business and you're brand new, one of the first things to do is make a goal to get your investment back. Because once you do that, then you're in the black. You've got a profitable business and a great. The other important thing about director is it's the duplicating building block. If you understand how to become a director, everything in the business drives off that particular thing because your job is then once you become a director, it's help other people do the same. In fact, that's their first leadership thing is become a senior director. That's 4,000 points, and it's really just you helping one of those other 3 people do the same thing you did in becoming a director. Once you do this, then you're going to, after you hold it for a few months, you're going to get a $1,000 conference. You do get 2 tickets to the conference, and I asked Jennifer Glackett about that because you get 2 tickets now when you buy the starter pack. But also when you hit this level, you get 2 tickets again, so you got a total of 4 tickets, and these 2 can be given away to help people come to the conference, which is pretty cool. So you still get the bonus and the conference tickets as you do that. Now the coordinator is really where I like people to set their goals at, because when they become a coordinator, it's 6,000 points. And as you've held that for 4 months, then you're getting a $3,000 cash bonus. You're getting a $250 car bonus, and you're getting an all-inclusive dream vacation for 2 to Paradise Resort, Mexico. Now, you heard Linda on the beginning of the phone call talking about my check. The next step from here, and I'll tell you about that in a moment, is if you think about it, you've built a very small business, probably 25, 30, 40 people in your group, but you've got a trip for 2 to San Francisco, which is a new directors conference. You've gotten $4,000 in bonuses. You've gotten a dream vacation. You've gotten a car payment. It's a really big deal that you've gotten. Now, the next step from that is senior coordinator, which is moving up to $10,000. And when you do that, you held it for 4 months. Your average income is $34,000 for that, and you get a $5,000 bonus. Now, if you're Linda, you're talking about that check. What that check was that I had on my Facebook page that they gave me at the Shaklee event. That was basically I've already been paid the $5,000 senior coordinator bonus and the other 2, and so that was a check for $9,000 because I actually earned $9,000 in fast track bonuses. That's above and beyond all the other payment for product movement. That's just a extra bonus they give you for building the business faster than most people and being on the fast track. Now, the one that I'm most excited about is the one that I'm in qualification now because Peggy and I and my wife have just become executive coordinators. And again, it's just getting 3 directors instead of 2, growing your group to 20,000. Now, as you hold this thing, when you hold it for 4 months, you actually get the trip for 2 to Bali, the international trip. When you've held it for 6 months, then you're going to get a bonus check of $25,000. And so, Linda, the one that you saw that had $34,000, what they had is they had earned the $25,000 and they'd earned the $9,000. So they actually earned $34,000 in bonuses. And of course, when you do this, not only do they give you the trip to Bali, they double your trip to Mexico so you can take 2 more people with you. They give you a bigger car payment. It's just an amazing amount of rewards you're getting. In fact, the average income is $50,000. In fact, what Jennifer was saying is that normally when she shows people the Shaklee Dream Plan and asks them to pick out the level of income that they want that will make a big difference in their family, most of them pick this executive coordinator level because a $50,000 income that's passive can make a huge difference in your life and your family. Imagine that on top of what you're already earning. And again, that's where you've already earned $34,000 in bonuses. That's where that check came from. You're getting a car payment for $375, and you've got an all-inclusive resort for 2 to Paradise, for 4 now to Paradise Resort, a trip to Bali. Pretty awesome, the rewards you get for building a business to $20,000 in sales in a month. And what's cool is you're only halfway through the process. This is your 15-month mark. This is where you're at this level, the executive coordinator level. So as you can see, you've qualified for 2 of the 4 car programs, actually 5 car programs, because when you become a president, they just give you a Mercedes. But as you move through the process, you continue to get paid more debt, more width, more volume, and you also get paid bigger car payments, bigger trips. You've also got 2 more $25,000 cash bonuses that come as you go through the fast track. So even though we say 15 months, 100,000, 15 months, fast track's really a 36. It's really a 3-year plan for you to come in and follow to build your business and get you going. And also, once you go through it, your job is to help other people go through fast track itself, which is really why they give you a 50% matching bonus. So, for example, whenever, Peggy and I, since we've earned $9,000 check, that means that $4,500 has been paid to Barry and Rhonda, our sponsors, because they get every check that we get, they get a check for 50% of that bonus as well. And you can do that as well. As you help people go through the business, you can earn, there's no limit to the amount of times you can earn the fast track matching bonus. It's an awesome program, and you can actually make more money on this part of the program than all the rest of them combined. Tony said that $85,000 of his first year's pay was the fast track matching bonuses. So there's a lot of money that can be made here. And again, the best thing about it is you're just helping other people do it. So the great thing about Shaklee, that's a good definition of it, is that the fast track plan. They call it the dream plan, and it works. It's real. Me and my wife are good testaments of it. We've been at Shaklee for a year, and we're right on track to do the 100,000. We've already taken the trip. We're in qualification for our other exotic trip. We've gotten the car payment. So it's exactly the things that you do. And again, it's not it's network marketing. emphasize the work. It takes some work to do it, but if you will stick with it, spend the 2 minutes. I like for people to think through making this a 4-year process. If you will spend 4 years building your network business, getting the skills, you will have a business that will pay you for the rest of your life in big ways. So it takes some time, it takes energy, but it takes a good company like Shaklee, and it takes a good team like ours to work with you. So we want to thank you for joining us this evening. Again, this call was recorded, so I'll be posting it up. Link to the one that we had on last time because we did have a joint. So thanks a lot, everyone. We appreciate you. We look forward to meeting you, and I know I'm going to get to see a couple of you guys out in California here in a few months. That's going to be great. So welcome to Shaklee. Thanks for visiting us, and get back with whoever invited you to the call and let them know the best way for you to get on the Shaklee Fast Track. Good night, everybody.